Hello everyone, it is time for a new video, and today I'm going to be talking about some books that I really want to read before the end of the year. Books that I just really want to read that I've been wanting to read all year, or they recently came out and I would love to squeeze them in before the end of December. Yes, this video is really late. Life has been a little bit intense recently. But I was excited to share these with you, so we will do that, and I have a plan that if I don't read them this month, which I'm definitely not going to read all of them, then in January I will read all these books as some of the first books that I read in the year. So the first book that I have here is Isabel and the Rogue by Liana de la Rosa, and this is a book that I have been highly anticipating. I think it came out a little bit earlier this year, but I just bought it like I think 2 weeks ago, and I have been obsessed with this cover and like all the vibes, obviously, like the books, reading, and the dress, and just it's so beautiful. So I don't remember much about this, but the first line says sparks fly between a wallflower and a spy during the London season, and I've heard so many people talk about it and I can't wait to read it. So speaking of a book that is related to this, where I saw a post that it looks like the heroine here, the book that she's reading, looks like this book. And while I don't know, let me see if it's actually, at least in the UK, it is not the same publisher. So I don't know if that's actually true, but it really looks like it though. And I feel like it's meant to be, you know? So I want to desperately read The Ornithologist's Field Guide to Love by India Halton. I can never say the title for some reason. And first of all, let's take a moment for this cover and how beautiful it looks and just so magical. And I have been wanting to read India Halton's books for a million years. I literally have 3 others and I've been procrastinating on it because I do really think I'm gonna love them. I just haven't read it, and like, why, you know? But this one, recently India Halton posted on Instagram about this book, and everything she said made it feel like I will relate to this so much. And her point was basically that like the heroine is strong in the sense of like kindness and softness and that like all of those things, and it is a fantasy romance. And so I do feel like, especially in the past few years, we saw like the strong female characters where they're physically strong, and they're good fighters and stuff like that. And of course that's super cool to see and it's awesome, but I do feel like we don't see the other versions of strength, and I would absolutely love to read more about softer female characters in romance. Especially in fantasy romance, because I feel like they just don't, there's not enough space held for them, if that makes sense. And so that made me really intrigued, and I don't actually know much about the plot itself. But it says that the 2 main characters are rival ornithologists seeking one dangerous, beautiful bird. And so I think it's like an adventure story, and I am super excited for this, and I think this has potential to, hopefully get me out of my fantasy slump a little bit. So I'm super excited for this. The next thing that I have is Something More by Jackie Kalilia, which is a book that I've been wanting to read for maybe like 3 months, or it's been like a little while, and I have a beautiful floppy copy, and the cover is just adorable. And I feel like this year I did not read a lot of YA contemporary, and I always say this, like, I know that in the past few years there's been quite a few like booktubers and just people in the bookish space where they just like started talking about how they've grown out of YA and they don't want to read it anymore and stuff like that. And while that is completely understandable, of course, I still love reading it. And I do love reading adult romance more, but YA still holds a special place in my heart, and I feel like in some ways it's just more accessible and easier and faster to read, and I feel like that is just really great to have even for an adult. And so this is one that is on top of my list for the YA contemporary that I think this came out this year, and the author has another book coming out next year that I'm also, the cover is gorgeous and I'm obsessed with it. It says that it's a warm, sweet, hope-filled portrayal of neurodivergence and coming of age that spoke deeply to my heart. That is a blurb by Chloe Lees. And the first line in the synopsis is, diagnosed as autistic just before joining a new school, 90s obsessed Jessie is determined to make a fresh start. And it says that two very different boys steal her heart, and so there is a love triangle, which I'm like a little bit scared about because I do not like love triangles. However, I have the feeling that I feel like this is going to be very focused on coming of age and the main character's emotional journey, which I really love, especially in YA contemporary. And so I can't wait to read it. And so it has autistic representation, and the main character is also Palestinian American. And I just really want to read that. The next book that I'm definitely going to be reading before the end of the year, because it is one that I'm actually in the middle of right now, is Knockout by Sarah MacLean. And I actually I started this ages ago, and I was obsessed with it, and then I put it down and I haven't picked it back up for 1,000 years. But today I just really needed a very soothing, super fun book, and this was the first thing that caught my eye, and I was like, it's meant to be. I think I did not read it all this time so I could save it for this moment. And I am devouring it, and oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with this series. You all need to pick it up if you haven't yet. Like, it is historical romances that feel very action-packed, and the heroines are basically in this group of women that like commit crimes for the better of the world, you know? And in this one, Imogen, the main character, basically creates bombs, and so she's really into chemistry, and you know, they just like make some buildings explode so that like they just, you know, kind of get rid of some really bad people and, you know, make the city safer and stuff like that. And it's just incredibly fun, and the romances are so swoon-worthy and fun and steamy and addicting, and it's just incredible. And I think that this is perfect for any people that either want to get into historical romance or have already read a lot of historical romance and want something a little different, because the books feel so special and beautiful, and I'm obsessed with them. And I actually need to check if this is the last book in the series, because I really hope not, because I need more. So that's that one. Then I have one more YA contemporary, which is Rani Chaudhuri Must Die by Adiba Jaigirdar, and I went to a really special event for this book with the author, and it is signed, and it's beautiful, and I'm obsessed with it, and I have character art, and I actually have more than this one, but this is the one that I'm using for the bookmark, and it's absolutely beautiful. And so I absolutely adore Adiba's books, and this is the new release. It just came out, I think, like last month, and I've been waiting for it for 1,000 years, and it's here. And yeah, I think that it is Rivals to Lovers, and there's a competition, and I think like they team up against boy that they both like or something like that. One of the main characters finds out that her boyfriend has been cheating on her, and it's with the other main character. So that is very juicy. I can't wait to read this. The next book is the one that is, you know, right behind me, which is Make the Season Bright by Ashley Herring Blake. And this is the only Christmas book I think I'm gonna mention. And it is the most exciting one for me. Like, I have quite a lot of books on my Christmas TBR, and I really desperately want to read more of them, but this one is just the one that is calling my name the most. Ashley Herring Blake is one of my favorite authors, and I've been waiting for this book so desperately, and I just cannot wait to devour this. And I think it's gonna be super angsty, and the blurb here says sweet, steamy, and completely intoxicating. And I do slightly know the plot of this one, which is that one of the heroines left the other at the altar like 5 years ago, and now they have to like live in the same house or something for Christmas. And so, you know, like a fun forced proximity situation, a lot of painful feelings from the past, so much angst, and if I trust someone to write that in a spectacular way, it is Ashley Herring Blake. So I will be devouring this 100%, and I'm super excited. And then I have a few ebooks on my Kindle that I really want to read. So one of them is Power Play by Chelsea Curto. And this one, the cover is just really speaking to me. Like, I love any pink romance cover, especially, you know, like in a style like this. It is adorable. And it is a romance between a reporter and a hockey player. And there's marriage of convenience. And oh my God, I adore Marriage of Convenience, like anything of forced proximity, of course, but this one especially. And I feel like while it's a super popular trope, I actually have not read enough of them. And so I'm super excited for this. The only thing slightly intimidating me is that it is like over 500 pages. But I'm just gonna be, you know, like scrolling on my Kindle and I won't even like know what page it is. And I think it's gonna be a super addicting, really fun romance, which I'm desperately craving, and so I really hope I get to this one. The next one is Make Room for Love by Darcy Liao, and this one came out last month, and it's on KU, and I have heard some people that I really trust say that they loved it, and the tropes look super fun, and the cover is super cute, so I'll tell you some of the tropes, which is roommates. Again, just like Marriage of Convenience, Roommates is one of my absolute favorite setups. I think it is incredible. It means that the characters have to spend so much time together and like the tension climbs and it's the best thing ever. And it is a sapphic romance as well. Then it says Sapphic Awakening, Indian and Chinese American leads, trans by heroine, slow burn, and they help each other heal, which I've said this before and I'm gonna say it again. I adore romances that have some kind of healing component. I think those are my all-time favorite kinds of romance because I think it can be so powerful and beautiful and it just sounds incredible. I think it's gonna be super fun and emotional and I cannot wait. And one of my goals for this year was to read more new to me authors, and I do think I did a good job, but I could always read more. So and those are actually all the books that I wanted to tell you about. So, yeah. Please let me know what are the books that you would like to read before the end of the year. And if you made it this far into the video, leave a snowflake emoji down below. And thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I will see you soon in another video. Bye!